So today we're going to talk about digital marketing and how to use your digital marketing to build this conveyor belt of hot leads. The world has changed quite dramatically, and a lot of small businesses are still marketing as if they were in the 70s and the 80s. So what I want to show you is what has changed, how it has changed, and what that means for your digital marketing and how you've got to change your digital marketing to become effective. Right? So I think you'll agree you're probably having the same kind of problem where your website isn't selling anything anymore. You're not getting much leads. Your social media is having no impact whatsoever. And it's just money being thrown down the drain. Right? So let's start here with your buyers. And let's just have a look at how things have changed over the years from a buyer perspective. And this is important because if you understand this, then you'll be halfway there to getting a good digital marketing strategy. Right? So in 1995, the good old days where internet had just been born for a couple of years, where there were some websites up, first websites. There was no Facebook at that stage. There was no, I think Google might have been pretty new. There wasn't any Twitter. LinkedIn didn't really exist at that stage. What you needed to do when you had a need was you hopped onto the good old yellow pages, right? And if you were smart, you started your company with the letters AAA, right? Because everything was in alphabetical order. So if you were AAA accountants or AAA dry cleaners or whatever, you were going to be the first to be seen, and the chances are the volume is going to go there, right? So if you had a problem, right, the first thing that you needed to do was you need to get information about how to solve the problem. And the only way you could do it in those days was to go to the supplier. Okay? You go to the supplier, you talk to the supplier about the problem that you have. The supplier would then advise the best way to solve that problem using their products or services, and they then recommend a product. Okay? So in this process, the control lies with the seller, right? So the minute you reach that supplier and you go knock on his door, you're into the salesperson's process, okay? And most people don't like that, right? So what has happened now with the technology that we have available, things have been turned on its head, right? So you've got a problem. You start off with a problem. So what do? You hop onto Google or to Facebook or to places like that, and you start researching possible solutions. Then from there, you decide what it is that you're going to buy. And then, only then, once you've done your homework, do you approach the supplier and say, hey, I think you got what I need. And you've done about 80% of your research already. By the time someone comes to you, they've probably done a hell of a lot of the research, right? So things have turned on its head, and you've got to realize that people are going through a process first to find some information, okay? To find information. They're going through that buyer's journey where what they're really looking for is good information that will help them to make a decision as to what's best to buy, where am I going to get the best deal, what's the right solution for me, or what seems to be the right solution for me, right? And of all the people that are researching, or have a need right now, only about 1% to 3% are ready to buy right now. They're ready to select someone and say, right, I'm looking for this kind of solution. Right? The other 97% are out there, but they're not ready to talk to you. They're doing their homework. They're going through a process to find more information, right? So let me give you an example. Let's say you want to buy a sunroom. Do you have any idea whatsoever how to buy, a sunroom? Can you tell the difference between a 50,000 Rand sunroom and a 100,000 one or 200,000 one just by, a quick look at it? Probably wouldn't be able to tell a lot about the differences in some of the aspects of that, right? And it's the same with whatever you sell, right? When people need to buy what you sell, they're generally speaking just as clueless about what you're selling, as you are about sunrooms, right? You're the expert. You know the information. Don't think that they are the expert. So your prospective buyers want and need to be educated so they can feel confident in making their purchase decision. They want to feel confident that they're making the right choice before they even approach you, right? And no one's providing that information. Very, very few small businesses are providing the right information in the right order to those clients. So your job in marketing, and especially digital marketing, is to facilitate your prospect's decision-making process. You've got to help them make a good, solid decision, right? That's what they want help with. Yeah. And so every marketing piece that you create should also, at the end, provide them some information, right? And it could be a consumer guide to how to solve the problem and why your products and services can do that for them. It could be a checklist that they need to go through to be able to solve the problem. It could be a webinar that educates them on how to solve that problem and how your solution works better than anything else. It could be training. It could be a whole lot of things, right? And that's to further educate your prospect and build your case. So look at this website, or rather, before I go to that one, right? Let me just go. Sorry, I'm going in the wrong direction. I want to go one step further, right? Before I go to that website. And this is fundamental, guys. The bit I'm going to tell you now is actually the secret sauce, all right? And it's not any of the technical stuff, but if you grasp this bit I'm going to show you now, you'll understand how to market digitally, or at least how to put the right messages onto your digital marketing. So the key to effective marketing is knowing what your prospective client is looking for, right? And you must be able to almost stand in their shoes and enter the conversation that's taking place in their heads, right? Or another way to look at it is to be able to address the number one question on their mind that they're thinking about at the right time, right? And there's two things going through their mind. Right? There's two major points. Number one, there's a problem they have that they don't want. And number two, there's a result they want, but that they don't have. So let me make this practical. I wake up on a Saturday morning and I've got serious lower backache, right? That's a problem I have that I don't want. Okay? And, I'm looking for a result that I currently don't have. And there could be lots of different ways to solve my back problem. It could be therapy, it could be medication, it could be surgery, it could be a whole lot of things depending on what my problem is, right? But I've got a problem now that I have and that I don't want. And so what happens is I start to focus, I call it your reticular activation system. Your brain starts to scan everywhere for anything that talks about that problem, right? So if you remember the good old days where we used to sit on a Sunday, at least I did, on the patio with the Sunday Times, right? It was wonderful reading that newspaper. And, I'd go through the whole paper from front to back, sports, the works, business pages, everything, right? If my wife came up to me and said, so what ads did you remember? I wouldn't have had a clue, right? Why? Because they weren't relevant to me. So my eyes scan over it. My reticular activation system says, that's not important, right? I can't remember a thing. But if I had extreme lower backache, and there was a little piece there in that newspaper that said, suffering from, from this debilitating backache, here's a solution, I would immediately pay attention to that. My reticular activation system would focus me on that. Why? Because it's relevant to me right now. Okay. So your marketing messages have got to be relevant to a problem that your audience has that you're trying to solve, right? This is the key to this, right? Now, how you write that message is critically important. And I'm going to show you some examples as well, because for digital marketing, this is most important. There's a proven attention attraction formula, and it's called the conversion equation. And if you do this right, you will grab the attention of your target audience who has that problem that you can solve for them. Right? And it's 4 steps: interrupt, engage, educate, and offer. Right? So the interrupt is your headline. It's the first thing that they always see, right? So this could be on your website page. It could be on a Facebook post. It could be an ad that you're placing somewhere. It doesn't matter, right? The first thing is always the headline. It's the biggest. And it talks about the problem, right? Just like me with a newspaper. My reticular activation system is scanning over tons and tons of info, but if I see something that talks about my problem, I pay attention to it, right? So the first thing is that interrupt. You've got to interrupt their reticular activation system. Then you got my attention now. So the next thing you've got to put in there is a subheadline, which is the second biggest thing, that promises a solution so that you can keep my attention. Right? So you can keep me engaged. A lot of businesses use interrupt, a nice little doggy running around or whatever, it catches your attention. But then, 2 seconds later, you carry on because it's not relevant to you. Right? So you've got to engage them with a promise that there's a solution to this problem. Right? Here is a 3-week program that'll get rid of your lower backache without any major surgery or any medication, right? Boom. All right, now I'm paying attention. Okay. The next piece then underneath that is called the educate. And in there, you're starting to provide them with how your solution works. And you show them evidence why this is a good solution for them, right? And why it's superior in every way to your competition. And then the very last thing is you must have an offer or a call to action. Every piece must have a call to action. And it must be so compelling and irresistible that they can't turn it down, right? And it's not always buy my stuff. If you've got very low cost items, it might be, here's a coupon with a discount, go buy my stuff at 30% less or whatever to get the first purchase. But if it's more than, if it's a higher ticket type of thing that people are going to think about and so on, then typically it's not buy my stuff. It's usually more information that you offer. Okay, I'm going to show you an example of that. Right? Okay, so here would be a typical ad, a digital marketing ad that uses that kind of formula for an accountant. Right? The average, and you could put let's say that the average construction owner misses X amount in unclaimed and overpaid tax every year. That's an interrupt. If I'm a construction owner, company owner, and I feel I'm paying too much tax, I'm going to pay attention to that. Right? This is talking to my problem. This is a problem I want to help you. So it implies I've got a solution for you. Okay. There's not a lot of space on something small like this to educate, but you can put the core in. I save you more tax dollars and claim more benefits for you as the best, let's say, construction company accountant in the industry, and a construction owner myself. I'm exactly what you need. Okay, so it's giving a little bit of education here. And then here's the offer. Yes, give me my free expert, guide or report on how to save tax dollars, right? So here's a simple example that's formatted using the conversion equation. Notice there's nothing here that says, we do tax, we do accounting, we do, these are the services we offer and provide. I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in solving my problem. That's why I'm paying attention to this ad, right? Okay. Now, because of the saturation of marketing messages, it'll take multiple touch points before your prospects will buy what you sell. Okay. So what I mean by that is, if I see that ad, that could be the first touch point that I have with you. I'm not going to be immediately convinced that you're the right guy for me, right? If I click on that button and I go to a page on your website that has a bit of a video about solving this problem, and I watch that, getting to the landing page and I see what it's about, is touch point number 2. I watch the video, that's touch point number 3. I download this guide that you're offering, that's touch point number 4, right? And then I might receive some emails from you, touch point 5, 6, 7, etc. What's happening is I'm building know, like, and trust. Okay? So people are getting to know me. They didn't know me from a bar of soap. They're now starting to understand how I provide a solution. They're starting to perhaps like me because of the way that I'm solving the problem, and they're starting to trust me because I can demonstrate that I've got the skills and the tools and the products to solve the problem, right? So, it can take anything. The research shows between 20 and 100 touch points before a prospect makes a buying decision. But if you follow that conversion equation, which focuses on the problem solution, you can reduce those touch points to somewhere between 5 and 12 points of contact, depending on how well you do it, right? And here is the key. Most businesses don't follow up with their prospects at all. And this is a huge window of opportunity for any business to position themselves as the dominant force of the industry. What do I mean by that? So you've got a little Facebook post and you send somebody to your website. They hop onto your website, they have a look around. Do you know who that person is? Do you know how to contact that person? Do you know that person's name? You don't, right? The only thing you can go do is look at your website stats. It says on this page, 50 people landed last week, but I don't know who landed there. So I can't follow up. I don't have a name. I don't have an email address. That's where the biggest opportunity lies, right? Remember the 97% of people that are still searching? You want their details so that you can continue to nurture them, right? So I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you a website here first, right? Just to give you an example. Here's a psychologist, right? And he focuses on parenting type stuff. So he's got this website, Parenting Advice and Resources from Dr. John Smith, right? He specializes in 9 different areas: emotionally disturbed children, behavioral problems, teen pregnancy, handling peer pressure, bullying, self-esteem, substance abuse, depression, teenage rebellion, the whole bang shoot, right? Here it says, greeting parents, I want to welcome you to Remarkable Parenting. You will find tons of great information here with hundreds of pages of articles. Okay. Now let's just assume that I had a very, very difficult rebellious teenager, a really belligerent little guy that's driving the family up the wall. We don't know what to do anymore, right? And I hop onto Google and I get to this website, okay? There's no like me, know me, trust me. There's no information here to help me, right? I'm not going to go and dig into tons of great information about depression, substance abuse, and stuff like that, because it's not helping me get to a solution at all, right? I'm not going to take up this free consultation right now. Right? So this is a terrible website. It's not going to generate a lot of business, except for the very desperate. Like at the, really at the 1%, not the 3%, not the 97%. They might hop on here, right? But for the rest, I'm going to hop off here and I'm going to go and find solutions elsewhere on how to solve my little rebellious guy, right? So what should this guy do from a digital marketing perspective to make this work? Okay. It's got to first of all, focus on one of these issues at a time. Because I'm not landing there to solve all these problems. I've got one problem, right? So let's say he goes for behavioral problems. He wants to market to those parents who've got, those rebellious little teenagers and so on, right? And so he creates a dedicated page, a single page on his website, okay, that is formatted using the conversion equation. So let's just go through that quickly, okay? Are you sick and tired of the yelling, screaming, and belligerent attitude of your child? Okay, so this is the interrupt, okay? If I've clicked on something on Facebook about, how to solve teenage problem and I land here, maybe I'm going to pay attention to this. It's talking to my problem, right? The next thing, now you can discover the secrets to controlling your child and instantly restore peace and quiet in your home. It's promising me a solution. It doesn't say what it is, but it's promising me a solution. So maybe I want to read a bit more. Okay, so interrupt, engage, right? Then educate, right? Here's a little video. And I click on that, and this doc starts talking and saying, as a parent, are you struggling to gain control of your child's attitude and emotions? We've got a solution for you. This is being, tried and tested, blah, 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 blah. It gives a very short, 1 minute, maybe 2 minute tops overview and says, all you need to do is download my guide. And the guide is called Learn the Secrets to Gaining and Maintaining Complete Control of Your Child in Less than 60 Seconds. Enter your first name and tell me where I should send it to. Give me your email address, the best email address to send it to, and I'll send it to you right away. Okay? Low risk, right? Very, very, very low risk, and it's giving me information about how to solve the problem. Okay? I am far more willing to do this than to pick up the phone and be sold to, right? Because this is going to educate me about how to solve the problem. Yeah. And so where this free consultation was the original offer, remember I always said there's a call to action, you must have an offer. The offer now is learn the secrets to maintaining and maintaining complete control of your child, right? Download a guide. I'm going to give you the guide to solve the problem. Show you how, okay? What's in the guide? Well, in the guide, I explain in detail how to solve the problem. And at the bottom of the guide, the person, remember this is now maybe the 5th, 6th, 7th touch point with me. I'm starting to build trust with a person. They're starting to be educated about how to solve it, why my solution is better than other solutions. I'm giving them all that information. And at the bottom of that, I can now give the next low risk offer for them. Okay. And that low risk offer could then simply be, call me for a free consultation. Now I'm more willing to do that. Right? So this guy had 300 leads per month. So 10% call to ask about the consultation. 10%, 3 of those, 10% again, consented to the consultation, agreed to it. And all 3 become new patients, because once they're sitting in front of the doc, they sit in front of the expert, the chances are they're going to be converted. With a landing page, he still had 300 leads per month. He got 60 offers, right? 20%. Average 6 of those consented to the consultation in the guide, right? It was that consultation offer, and all 6 became new patients. So he doubled his business. He essentially doubled his business using the right digital marketing strategy. Right? So once again, every marketing piece should contain a risk-lowering offer to encourage the prospect to take the next step. Right? You should on your website, you should have something that educates your client. It could be a video, it could be a guide, it could be a checklist, it could be a short webinar, it could be some training, 10 minutes of training, doesn't matter. But you've got to give them the information that they are looking for to help them make a good decision. Right? That's what they want. They want to be confident that they're getting a good deal, that they're making the right decision. Yeah. So having said that, let's just take it one step further. Right? This is what most small businesses have. And I call it tactical marketing instead of strategic marketing. Right? We've got a hodgepodge of all different elements. Okay, so we've got our business card, we've got our website, we maybe got a brochure, we're putting social media posts up, we may be sending some emails out, stuff like that. We go to networking meetings, right? But none of these things on their own are doing much for you. They're not really working. Okay? You may be getting traffic to the websites, not generating any leads. So what we want to do is take a strategic view. Okay? In your digital marketing, always got to take a strategic view. And you want to say to yourself, how do I get someone who's got a problem that I can solve to firstly pay attention to what I'm saying? That's where the conversion equation comes in, right? And from there, how do I then move them step by step along a process where I can educate them, where I can build trust with them, and where I can get them to come to the point of sale, wherever that may be. Right? So an example would be, once again, that landing page that I've showed you with an offer, an information offer. They download that information product, and it's got another offer in there. If your product is low cost and doesn't cost a lot, it could be, here's a free 10% discount on your first purchase, and here are the stores you can buy it from, or here's the online store you can buy it from, or something like that. If it's higher ticket items, it could be, come to us for a free consultation or something along those lines, right? Or a free assessment, or something like that, right? And then the front end, all you do there with your digital marketing is to drive traffic to that landing page. So you'd have, for example, a Facebook post that is written using the conversion equation to catch their attention, and then you send them to the landing page. It could be your Google Ads, where you send them to the landing page. It could be an email where you send them to the landing page. It could be the back of your business card where you send them to the landing page and you hand that out at your networking meetings. It could be, there's a whole lot of ways to do this, right? It could be an article that you're writing somewhere, right? At the bottom, you put a link to the landing page. Right? See how this starts to create a, I don't like to call it a funnel, but they are funnels, right? But you're creating a process, a step-by-step process that works to bring somebody from, I've got a problem, I'm paying attention, down a process, educate me, I like you, I trust you, and buy. Right? Okay. So in this example, this is one of my strategies, right? So the Facebook post would look something like this. Where's the money gone, right? And the way it's written, you have the revenue, but not enough profit. So that's the interrupt. Engage. Here's a simple growth and profit focused formula that'll turn your business's profitability around, ensure that you bank real take-home profit. No special talent required, just focus and discipline. Then get a leg up by downloading my free profit growth cheat sheet with a simple 5-step profit growth formula and 245 strategies and tactics, and jumpstart your profit growth straight away, right? And then there's a link. Now, there are a couple of ways to do this, right? You could just say to the guys, comment down below, and I'll send you the link, right? Because Facebook doesn't like it when you take people off Facebook to another place. So, putting a link like this is generally not the best thing to do. You'd rather say, let me know below, and I'll message you the link. Yeah. Right? So you've got that. They land on the landing page. So this is what the landing page looks like, right? You leave your name and your email address, and that goes into your database, right? And from there, you can send, pre-scripted emails and all sorts of, you can continue to communicate with the guys. You can drop a mail to them and say, hey, I see you've downloaded, or I sent you the guide. Just want to know, was it useful, right? Is there, anything I can help with? Can we maybe hop onto a quick 10-minute call and see if I can help solve your problem? Right? So there are lots of ways to start engaging, because your website has now become a lead capture machine. It's generating leads for you. Whereas previously people would land on your website and they'd disappear and you wouldn't know who it was. You'd be frustrated as hell because your Google Analytics says 100 people landed on your website. Ooh, right. So, guys, this was in the worksheet. So before you even get into the practical side of things, there are a couple of things that you need to think about. Okay. Number one is, who's your target audience? Who are they? What do they look like, right? And what are the problems, the hot buttons? What are the problems they're solving? So you might have multiple client types, right? You might have schools, you might have dry cleaners, you might have whatever, right? Whether it's B2B or B2C, doesn't matter. But for each one of those with their unique problem, you want to have unique marketing and a unique landing page, unique information. You don't want to mix it all up in your website and say, I do all this stuff for anybody and everybody, right? So you got to define your target audience first. Then you got to think about your messaging, right? And that's where you want to use your conversion equation. Okay. And what is your free offer, your free digital offer? And then maybe in your offer, like a guide or whatever, what's the next step offer that you want to offer them? Right. So if it's a low costing, it could be, here's a 10% discount on your first purchase at these stores or whatever, right? If it's a high ticket thing, it would be, maybe something like, here's a free assessment we'll do for you to assess your problem, and give you some advice on how bad it is, or how much effort you need to fix it. Then you design your landing pages and so on, and then you decide on your traffic sources. So where does my ideal client, where do they hang out? Where do they get information? Older people tend to be on Facebook these days, right? Professional people, LinkedIn, right? A lot of people are on Twitter, all sorts, right? Nearly everybody hops onto Google these days, right? Young people hop onto TikTok. Right? So depending on where your audience is, you want to pick a platform where you can reach them. Okay? And then you want to be able to use the conversion equation to create information that resonates with your audience and helps to solve that problem. Okay? Then how do you encourage them to engage and purchase, right? It could be something like a calendar link automated calendar link. Like, if you're an accountant, your call in your guide could be, here's a link to book an appointment in my calendar, or in my diary. It could be, if you're on LinkedIn and Facebook, it could be the way you structure your posts to encourage conversations with you. Yeah. So there are a whole lot of things you can do. You can have joint venture partners who encourage their clients to speak to you, right? If you've got this problem, I know this guy can really do this awesome for you, right? Yeah, go talk to him. And then over time, you also have to realize that not everybody's going to buy right away, but you really should be putting out regular content that continues to educate those people whose name and email you've got, right? So maybe you've got a blog on your website. You write a new article once a month and you send it to the email, right? And say, hey guys, I just wrote something about this. Think you might enjoy it. Check it out. So that you can stay front of mind with those people, right? Could be a quick video or a podcast. Could be just email marketing. It could be a webinar, right? And it could be another website and another landing page with some more what we call lead magnets. Those items are, those guides and the checklists and stuff, they're called lead magnets, right? Okay, and guys, very important is the conversion equation. You got to use this, and this is in your worksheet as well, to help you. You got to use the interrupt, engage, educate, offer to script the messaging that will work for your prospects. Very important, critical. You can have all those components, but if you don't know how to get the attention of your target audience, you're not going to get people into the pipeline, right? So you've got to be able to format it. So in short, guys, the reason why our digital marketing doesn't work anymore, we don't understand how people buy today. We're still trying to think of marketing the way it was done 10 years, 20 years ago, right? People are looking for information first, right? Number two, you've got to attract their attention. So you've got to format your marketing messages in the right way so that the person who's got that problem that you can solve will say, hey, I want to read this. Okay. Then you've got to create a strategy to bring them step by step down the pathway where you can educate them, right? Until you can get them to a point of sale. And then finally, you've got to try and nurture these guys, stay in touch with them, in other words. If I've downloaded your guide and I haven't bought, doesn't mean I'm never going to buy. A percentage of those guys just weren't ready right now, or something else. They're going overseas, waiting for a bonus, whatever the case may be, right? But they're not ready to buy right now. If you're out of sight and out of mind, they're going to forget about you. So you want to be able to create some content, good quality content, not here's my holiday pics, right? And here's my newsletter. This is who I've hired in my business. They don't care about you and your business. They care about their problem and how to solve it, right? So you want to provide good quality content that keeps educating them about how to solve the problem and why you have got the solution, the right solution for them. Okay, guys, so I think that brings us to the end. So let's go over to the Q&A. Your takeouts from this, guys, any insights, any new aha moments, anything like that?
Yeah. In my instance, I have some unique issues with getting people to accept what it is that we do. So, and also because the vastness of the problems that we can fix has caused me to make many different types of solutions over the years.
Yeah.
And so it's very difficult to sell it all in one shot.
Yep.
Yeah, I think targeting your specific client, or rather your specific solution to the specific clients is something I haven't been doing, because I've just been saying, look, you know what, here's a bucket full of products. You got problems, I can help you. Go and scratch around there and find your solution, which is obviously then now be noticed the wrong approach. So it's going to take a little bit of extra work to sort out proper landing pages with the proper text, and then extra targeting of people with specific problems. So thanks. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, because the problem is I keep on being told, yeah, you got too many products, and I'm like, but there's so many different problems.
Yeah.
But
so maybe maybe a good way to go about it is just look back on your clients. It's an old 80-20 rule. Usually like 80% of our revenue and our profit has come from 20% of the business. Right?
Yeah.
So focus on those kind of problems where there's a demand, where you've got business before, and make that your primary focus.
Yeah.
Start there, and then you can expand to others. Don't pick a little, a small little one that you're hoping that's going to grow somewhere, but rather pick one where you've made an impact, you can demonstrate it, there's a need, and then take people through that process. Like I know schools is one of your clients, right? So it could be schools and what they're trying to achieve and the problem they're trying to solve, and then educate them about how to do that, why your solution is so great for schools.
I think the interrupt is the biggest thing. I think we don't always know how to grab a person's attention. It's a question of, hey, we can help you with your problem, talk to us, but zoning in on the specific problem is something that we don't do very well. To grab their attention, I can say, yeah, no, I can help you out, talk to us, we'll sort out these guys. But the approach on that interrupt needs to change from my side.
Yeah, and the key is getting to the client's shoes and into their heads. So, school principals just had a burglary, all the computers are stolen, ceilings are a mess now, etc. What's going through his head?
Yeah.
What's he thinking? That's what you want to try and bottle that and use his language almost, right?
Yeah.
This is the problem. How do I stop my school from being ransacked on a regular basis? Maybe that's what he's thinking. That's what you want to put onto the interrupt.
Yeah.
Right? And then the engage would be, here's a solution that's non-lethal, doesn't cost you a lot, and will work 100% every time, or something like that, right? And then you can educate them, you can start to educate them about why your solution is so great, what the benefits are, why it's different to the other solutions, and what they need to do, the next step, to speak with you. Right? It could be, let's do a free security assessment of your school. Like a small, low-risk step. Once you've done the assessment, you're sitting in front of them, and they know they've got a problem. They can see the solution. Chances are you're probably going to close a good percentage of those clients.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Derek. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Peter, one of the things, and it actually follows on from our discussion on Tuesday, I spoke to a few people yesterday, is sending out marketing, what do you want to call it, social media or electronic marketing, whatever. And just the general consensus I was getting, okay, it wasn't a big range, it was about 6 people, is we get an overload. And the guys just 99%, they don't open things, they don't open anything, they just delete. I must say, personally, I'm quite close to one of those people. It's got to be really something out of the ordinary for me to even open half these things. Because one of the problems too is when you do open something, then you just get bombarded with rubbish.
Now, you see, that's the key. Do you open my mails?
I must, yeah.
Okay, why do you open my mails?
because that's actually what, yeah, I know where you're coming from now. Is I open your mail because the coaching and whatever is top of my priority.
Exactly, right? So it's important to you, and I try and provide value, right? So when you start to bombard people with your product and your services and all that rubbish, remember, people focus on what's in it for me. They log into that radio station, WIIFM, right, which stands for what's in it for me. When they hear you or they see what you're sending, etc., the first thing they're looking at is, so is this useful to me? Is it helping me solve my problem, right? And if I get an email that says, I get lots of these things these days. Hey, we website designers. We can do SEO, blah, 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 blah. If you need help, delete, right? And then block. I don't want to put it in the junk folder. I don't want any more of this because it's not relevant to me. Nobody's even stopped to say, do I have a problem with my SEO and website?
Yeah.
They've just guessed and hoped, like pray and spray. And it's just going to get deleted and it's going to, pee people off, basically, right? So you don't want to do that. I would rather put a message onto Facebook that says, hey, you got an SEO problem. We got a solution for you, right? Someone who's got that problem will voluntarily put their hand up and say, look, I've got this problem. I want to know more. Okay. So once someone has subscribed to your database, you want to continue giving them more information about that relevant topic that they downloaded that guide for. Right. So if that guide was about how to solve lower backache, and I'm a chiropractor, the last thing I should do is now start sending them stuff about tendon problems in the foot and all that kind of stuff, because it's not relevant, right? But if I keep sending stuff about backache, I can maybe expand it a bit and say how to stay healthy, keep the back in good shape, and so on. And I keep making them some offers, right? Here's a program, first massage 3, 5 series to help lower backache. Why don't you come along, 10% discount for the first one, or first one free, whatever, right? So I keep on making offers that are relevant to them. They'll open those mails, right? Because it's not rubbish.
So Peter, what you're actually saying is, in this type of marketing, it mustn't be shotgun approach. It must be specific and aimed at certain people. Don't just keep sending stuff out on databases.
Yes, it's solving a problem for those guys.
Yeah.
In your case, remember you got these farmers, and
you get bombarded with information.
Okay, but remember their big problem is that downtime, right? That kills it.
Yeah.
So if you're setting yourself up as the solution providers that minimizes that downtime and gets them profitable, right, in the process, and your themes, your email themes are built around that.
Yeah, around the downtime. That's exactly what I was thinking about after we spoke on Tuesday.
Yeah, and show them how to solve some of these problems, what the costs are involved in those problems, how to resolve it better. You become like the advisor, the trusted advisor to them. They will probably open those emails if it's good quality content that teaches them something new and gives them some new insight and shows them how to save money, how to save time, how to do things better on the farm. They will open that. They'll read it. And the ones who won't have got no interest in that.
Yeah.
Which is cool, right? You want them to unsubscribe.
And I'll give you an example, quite a relevant one. I think it's quite interesting. About 18 months ago, and the Institute of Business Coaches, whatever it is in South Africa, it's got a title to it. I chatted to them about registering as a coach and doing all their modules and whatever. It didn't oversell me on it. Do you know what I'm trying to say? I got this email back and it was, you're going to have psychologists lecture you and you're going to have this guy and that guy. And I just thought, it's getting to a level where I don't want to do it. You know, it didn't grab me to say, geez, that's what I want to do, if I can put it that way.
Yeah.
I, since that date, get an email from them at least twice a month with the next module and what it can cost you. And it's got nothing, nothing's come back to me to say, we've sent you all this, we haven't heard from you, what have we done, what's this? You're just getting a mailing list bombardment. Do you know what I'm saying?
You're trying to sell their products.
That's
what the
that's
service
it.
is, right?
They're not trying to find out what I'm looking for.
Yeah. So what, Doug, if they sent you a set of emails that said, to become a good coach, there are 5 skills that you need to master. Each week, we're going to send you an email with a different skill.
Yeah.
Right. And they send you that, but good information about how to develop that skill. Would you open those emails?
More than likely I would. Well, that's how I started getting involved with you, wasn't it?
Right. So
we've been together now. I've been with you for, must be close on a year.
Yeah.
But, it's not that I wasn't doing anything for nothing. I was looking for something that would switch on. And unfortunately, on their side, it didn't switch on because it was a level that I believe, if I'm going to work with Joe Boggs down the road who's got a little engineering business, I don't have to have top psychologist lectures for 8 weeks. And
no.
You know what I'm trying to say? It just didn't come in my head at all. Whereas 90% of what you're doing, I'll be honest, stuff that I've learned from you, or that we've discussed and done over the last year. I've got a lady who's a one-man business. She sells pre-loved books. In other words, she goes to all the charity shops and buys books. She's got an Instagram account where she markets it. I sit with her for free because she's a friend or whatever. She's designed this. This lady's turning over 20 to 30,000 Rand a month in secondhand paperbacks between the price of 20 and 60 bucks.
Yep. Yeah.
And it's just been fun doing it with her and to see how she's grown as a person. I didn't have to go to get a psychologist degree, but that's the information that I was getting bombarded with. So it could have actually turned me totally off the whole concept.
No, absolutely. Why? Because it's not relevant, number one. Number two, it's not speaking to your hot buttons.
Yeah.
Your hot
so if I'm
buttons,
looking at
get
the
practical
conversion
stuff that I can apply today.
Yeah, I'm looking at the conversion equation on my screen right now.
Yeah.
And okay, it interrupted me the first time, but it hasn't engaged or educated or offered me. The only offer it's given me is pay this 40,000 Rand or whatever it is. But the two important ones, the engage and the educate, it's nothing. And look, I'm harping on this, but what I'm trying to use it as an example is you've got to be so careful you don't go down a road that you actually sell the guy the exit entry.
Yes, exactly. So that's why, remember the multiple touch points and the know me, like me, trust me. So they've sent you a whole lot of stuff. Okay. Do you like them more because of what they sent you?
Not at all.
Not at all. Do you trust them more because of what they sent you?
I don't not trust them, but I just see it as, and I'm going to, maybe I'm off the track with what I'm going to say now. I look at it, it looks a little bit elitist.
Yep.
We've only got Dr. So-and-so, and everything they tell you is the people that are going to talk to you are these high profile people. But there might be a corner Tiro owner that could teach you more about business than any coach. You know what I'm trying to say? I'm not putting it in the right context here.
Yeah.
But it's two at a position where you talk about businesses between 5 million and 50 million turnover, whatever. What they're looking at are not those businesses.
No.
So my interest is not there.
So, I think it's a great example of knowing your audience, knowing what their hot buttons are, what they're looking for, right? They got a problem that they have that they don't want, okay? They're looking for a solution that they don't have. What is that outcome? What is that result that Doug wants, right? What is the problem that he has right now? And then how can I provide the information to show him how to get that result? Not sell my stuff, right?
Yeah.
But show
him.
There's
never, now you're hitting the nail on the head. There's never been a conversation to try and find out what I need.
Yep. Yeah,
of
and that's
any
the
description.
to digital marketing. We don't like, none of us like to be sold anymore.
Yeah.
I don't want to go into, to buy a car and have this high pressure salesman on me. I want to go first, get onto a website, have a look at the car options, have a look at the features, have a look at what I want, the benefits, then start looking around at the pricing. And then lastly, I will decide which dealer am I going to go to.
Yeah,
What's
that's
gonna
your very
give me
first
that-
slide you put up, that 1995 to whatever.
Yeah.
That is just, I've used that to our staff in quite a few presentations. And it is so true that
I tell you,
nobody buys cold anymore.
Nobody does, right? And so what?
Yeah.
Your competitors have given me rubbish, or I couldn't find any info, which is the case in many, many cases. And
Yeah.
you've given me good info all the way through. Chances are I'm going to come to you.
Exactly. Yeah.